Today, Congress is expected to do a procedural vote in the hopes of meeting that July 18th deadline. For more on this, we're joined now by Texas Congressman and member of the DOJ Caucus co-chair, Pete Sessions. Sir, thanks for joining us today. Do you think that this is going to get done by Friday's deadline?
Well, what I think is that these are serious issues that House Republicans have for many years disagreed with the spending that went on, and including increased spending. And we are really happy that the Senate's going to thoughtfully look at these and see what's possible to bring them back. In other words, we've already, I think, looked at this for a moving forward basis, but this year we consider it still a problem. So in particular, foreign government spending. And so we're going to move it back, and I think it'll be a good day for House Republicans when joined by Senate Republicans.
Yeah, Congressman, obviously Senate and House Republicans love to go home to their districts, campaign on fiscal responsibility, fiscal cuts, cut spending. Congress has not approved a rescission package, which this technically is, in 25 years. Do you think this is the one that gets through? Because if not, I don't know how Republicans can go home and say they are about less spending.
Well, as a matter of fact, and thank you for that analysis. In fact, I don't know if we're going to go home and just tout these so much as that we view that this is an instrument where government was funding those who provide content against the American dream. And so we really are a part of trying to do overall moving back this government within its own waistline, within an opportunity to know what's correct spending. I'm not going to use the word constitutional, but really the limits that the American people produce and provide. And so, yes, I assume we will go home and tout this, but we first have to get it done, as you suggest. And the first time is probably makes it harder, but the first time is also an indication of our desire to move it forward. We have, with the president, President Trump, a person who actively leads. He does not lead from the rear. He leads from the front. Very, very proud of the president for listening to us. That drumbeat that we've had for years, the call is being answered by the chief executive of the United States of America.
Great point, sir. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul went on Face the Nation a couple of days ago to talk about how he supports a cut, although not a complete one, of funding to public broadcasting. Take a listen.
I got my start on public television, KET, in Kentucky, being a commentator for my taxpayer group that I started. So, I am not an enemy of public TV, but at the same time, we have a $2 trillion deficit. And what we'll be presented with is a $9 billion cut in spending. And can we and should we at least start cutting $9 billion? Yes.
We know how the president feels. What do you make of this?
Well, I think Senator Paul, who's a very dear friend of mine, really speaks the truth, and that is the time that we live under. I, in fact, have problems with the PBS and the political content that they dwell on. They dwell on issues and ideas that are meant to divide not only the American people, but not to provide a content in a balanced context. And I have seen that, although there are stations, KERA in Dallas, tends to, because they had a person that was looking at that content, to decide that. But there are other states that have open content that I consider as I travel around the country and listen to, that open up wounds instead of providing data and information.
Yeah, real quickly, Congressman, I know some other Republicans, especially in the Senate, have problems with the cuts to PEPFAR, which is the presidential initiative to basically combat and eradicate AIDS in Africa. It's actually, I was there a few years ago. It's actually a remarkable program that's working. Do you think that could be something that could be shifted to state and out of USAID and all of the other waste and fraud that goes there?
Well, I think that, as you mentioned, PEPFAR, that came in under President Bush, was an exceedingly generous opportunity to meet the needs of what Africa had, and that is being overrun with the AIDS virus. And America has an opportunity to help the world, and did. I think that the question is, how is it seen by Secretary Rubio, President Trump? Now, as we are some 20 years past that, what is the leading edge need that people have? And it probably is to maintain those people who are on the edge of health and other matters. And I think we need to look at that review. But I think Secretary Rubio, as a result of the things that he has been in contact, not just with Africa, but around the world, needs to decide that. Is this a part of our foreign policy that's seen by the world as a positive indicator? And are we bringing people to our side of working together with them? And if that is what's in the best interest of the American people, then yes, I would be for us continuing those issues.
All right, Congressman Pete Sessions, so great to have you. Thank you so much, sir.
Great to see you, sir.